The call of the wild is an ancient song, beckoning adventurers to test their limits against nature's raw power. From the serene forests to the jagged peaks, the wilderness offers unparalleled beauty and profound challenges. Yet, within its breathtaking grandeur lies an inherent, often unforgiving danger. For some, a journey into these untamed landscapes transforms from an exhilarating escape into a desperate struggle for survival, pushing the very boundaries of human endurance. This is one such story, a testament to an indomitable will, set against the vast indifference of the high country. Ethan Miller, a seasoned outdoorsman with years of backcountry experience, embarked on what he expected to be a challenging yet rewarding solo trek. His route would traverse a remote section of the Rockies, known for its rugged beauty and isolation. Ethan was meticulous in his preparation: maps, compass, first aid, satellite phone, and enough provisions for his planned 2-week expedition. He understood the risks, but his confidence stemmed from a deep respect for the mountains and a lifetime of honing his survival skills. The forecast predicted clear skies, and his spirits were high as he vanished into the vast expanse of wilderness. 3 days into his journey, as Ethan navigated a steep, scree-laden slope, the unforeseen struck with brutal speed. A loose rock, disguised by a patch of moss, gave way beneath his foot. In an instant, the world spun. He tumbled violently down a jagged incline, the weight of his pack compounding the force of the fall. He finally came to an agonizing stop, his left leg throbbing with a searing pain. His satellite phone was gone, dislodged during the fall, along with his primary medical kit and water filter. The sudden silence that followed was deafening, amplified by the chilling realization of his isolation. With a potentially broken leg and limited supplies, the wilderness transformed from a playground into a prison. The immediate threat was not just the injury, but the rapidly approaching night. Temperatures in the high Rockies plummet after sunset. Ethan, battling shock and immense pain, managed to fashion a makeshift splint from 2 trekking poles and strips of cloth. He crawled into a shallow cave he discovered, using his remaining space blanket as meager insulation against the biting cold. Sleep was a luxury he couldn't afford, as hypothermia became a very real and present danger. Hope, a fragile flame, flickered against the encroaching darkness. Days blurred into a relentless cycle of pain, thirst, and hunger. Ethan rationed his remaining handful of energy bars, making each bite last. With his mobility severely compromised, he focused on finding water. He discovered a small, muddy spring, filtering the water as best he could through a bandana, risking illness but knowing dehydration was a quicker killer. He attempted to signal for help, tearing strips of brightly colored fabric from his jacket and hanging them on branches, a silent, desperate plea carried on the wind. Each movement was excruciating, each decision a matter of life and death, as his body steadily weakened. As the days stretched into weeks, the physical toll became immense. Ethan's body, once robust, was now emaciated. His mind, however, remained his strongest ally. He talked to himself, recounted stories, and visualized his return home, anything to stave off the crushing weight of despair. He fought against the constant gnawing of hunger, the persistent ache of his injury, and the terrifying whispers of loneliness. Each sunrise brought a new resolve, each sunset a moment of reflection on how much longer he could endure. His mental fortitude was the only thing standing between him and succumbing to the overwhelming odds. On what he believed was his 18th day lost, something shifted. A faint, rhythmic hum, almost imperceptible over the sounds of the wind, reached his ears. It was distant, fleeting, but undeniably artificial. A helicopter. With a surge of adrenaline he hadn't known he still possessed, Ethan used the last of his strength to drag himself from his makeshift shelter. He pulled out the crumpled emergency whistle he'd almost forgotten about, blowing into it with every ounce of air in his lungs, a desperate, piercing cry against the vast silence. It was a single, fragile thread of hope, but it was enough to reignite his fading will to live. The whistle was heard. A search and rescue team, alerted by a forgotten check-in call from a worried friend, had been scouring the area for days. They spotted Ethan's crude signals and located him, barely conscious, huddled near his meager fire. The sight of human faces, the sound of their voices, was almost too much for his exhausted mind to process. After weeks of battling isolation and the relentless elements, Ethan Miller was found alive. He was airlifted to safety, his body severely dehydrated and emaciated, but his spirit unbroken. It was a miracle of survival, a testament to an unyielding determination. Ethan Miller's story serves as a profound reminder of both the wilderness's inherent power and the extraordinary resilience of the human spirit. His journey back to health was long, but his recovery was complete. He emerged from the ordeal a changed man, with an even deeper reverence for life and the raw beauty of nature. The mountains continue to call to him, but now with a different resonance, one of respect, humility, and an enduring lesson in the fragility and strength of existence. His survival, against truly overwhelming odds, stands as an indelible mark, inspiring all who hear it to never give up, no matter the darkness.